Hello, let's look at creating a WordPress.com site so that you've got somewhere to put your life story on. So to get a WordPress.com site, the first thing you want to do is put in WordPress.com and go to this page. Over here on the right hand side, you can see sign up now. Just below that, we've got the 10-step walkthrough guide. This is excellent. I'd suggest you come over here and have a look at all these different things that you can do to help you learn how to go about creating a WordPress.com site. So let's sign up. What they ask for here is your blog address, your username, passwords, and email. You need to fill these out. What you need to do is you need to seriously consider the importance of this particular name here, because this is a URL and it can't be changed. You can actually sign up for another one, but you can't change it. You also need a username. And a username needs to be a name that you will use across the entire WordPress.com infrastructure. It will be something that will be standard and it will travel with you. You can't change these. They are static and fixed, and you just have to put up with it or abandon them if you don't want to use them in the future. Down here you need to set up a password. And make sure it's strong enough. And down here you need to put in an email address. Once you've done all that, you can sign up for a new WordPress.com account. I'm not going to do this because I'm already a WordPress.com member. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to get out of this page and go to my standard setting up a new blog page. So this is the standard create a new blog page if you're already a WordPress.com member. If you sign up for a new membership, you'll be coming to a very similar place to this very shortly. So I've created a fictitious person. His name is Hugh No, and his full name's Hugh Ignatius No, as a matter of fact, because sometimes we need to have slight variations on a name, and that's because if you've got a common name like John Smith, chances are johnsmith.wordpress.com is already gone. So you can try a few alternatives like Hugh I Know or H I Know. Now you can see in this situation here, H I Know does not work. Somebody else has already got this. So we'll have to stick with the original, Hugh No, which is available. So this will become a locked URL. We can't change this, and if it is a really clever name and somebody else wants it, all we can do is transfer it. That can't be changed, but everything else from now on can be changed. So what we're going to do is we're going to give this just a temporary title. We'll call it Hugh's blog for now. That'll do for the moment. Down here we have the different privacy settings: public, block search engines, or private. That's entirely up to you. If it's private, it's maybe something that you're just going to share with the family and nobody else. So click on Create Blog. And now I have a confirmation to say that hughno.wordpress.com is mine. If you've just signed up for a new account, you'll also get an email sent to your email box. Make sure that you check your spam filters or your junk to make sure that it hasn't been dropped into there, because what you'll need to do is you'll need to confirm your email to say that you're actually a real person so that you get your WordPress.com account. So let's visit the dashboard. This is the dashboard. This is where it all happens. This is where we create our content that other people then view. It might look a little bit intimidating for the moment, but take some time to have a bit of a look around it. The first thing you should do when you come here is go to the very final one on the left-hand side here, which is Settings. If you click on this little triangle just here, you'll open it up to this drop-down menu with some other things. If you click on General, it'll bring you to the General Settings page. This is where we can change a few things like the site title and taglines and all the calendar information. For a moment, we'll just change this a little bit so you can see how the process goes. You can put your email address in here or change it. Chances are it's already got an email address in there from what you did earlier when you signed up. Set your time. Here in Brisbane, Australia, the time is +10. And I particularly like to change the date category to something that suits the Australian British style, which is L, space, J, space, capital F, comma, space Y. And that gives us this particular date format, which I particularly like. By having a look at the documentation on the date and time formatting, you can choose exactly what you're after. If you're in the US, chances are one of these systems here will suit you just fine. I personally like to start my week on a Sunday. That's it. We'll just click on Save Changes. Now over here on the right hand side, we can upload a blog picture, which is used for different applications on WordPress.com all over the place, where they might want to promote your particular blog if you're doing something really cool and funky. So I've got a little image here which I want to use. So I'm just going to browse that off my desktop and upload it. And once it's uploaded, we can then modify it a little bit because it needs to fit inside a square frame. So we'll just crop it as such. And now we can go back and make sure we save the changes yet again. If you go to writing, you can also change a few other things. I personally find 10 lines too small. I prefer a few more lines, so we'll just change that to 30 lines. Over here under settings, we've got writing, discussion, all these different things. You need to work your way through those and slowly get a bit of an understanding the different settings that you can have and what they all mean to you. But most of them aren't that particularly important. The general settings are the most important ones for the now. Now, to customize your site, what you need to do is you need to go to Appearance. In Themes, you will get a variety of different styles that you can use. You need to consider what sort of blog this is. I'd suggest that you don't necessarily have to fuss too much. If this is a personal blog about something that you want to talk about your own personal things, you just find something that's quite comfortable. The current theme, which is the latest as of January 2011, is the 2010 theme, which is a particularly clean, really nice theme, and I think it works in many situations. It's one that's definitely worth thinking about. But you can choose all these different types of themes and have a bit of a look at them and preview them and see what you like. If you like one of these themes and you want to use it, and here's a bit of an example of a preview of it, what you can do is you can actually activate them by clicking on this button over here. But let's not worry about that at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick with the current theme being 2010, just so that everything's nice and clean. Also, we've got widgets. Widgets are additional bits of functionality that we have over on the sidebars. These are the widgets and the widget area where things can operate. We've got different areas. We've got footers down the bottom here, and we've got the primary and the secondary widget areas. These are the additional columns and bulk areas where you can put different things. What you do is you just grab these different sections here, like category cloud, and you can drag them across and just drop them into there and then set them up how you like them. They're incredibly valuable, and they can create a lot of style for your particular blog so that it actually suits your personality. So let's get creative. Let's start actually producing some content. There's a little bit of a difference between posts and pages. Pages are static places where you will have information. Pages normally live up here in the top navigation bar, the area where if somebody clicks on it, they will go directly to a page and be able to get some information, maybe about you, or maybe about the site, maybe about particular topics that are interesting on the site. Posts, on the other hand, are this area here where the information is constantly scrolling down as new content appears. So if you go back to the dashboard, there you have two ways of actually creating a post. You can come over here and you can do a very quick publish, where you might just put in a quick note, maybe add a few photos or a bit of video and just click on publish over here. Or what you can do is you can go up here to new post, or you can come over here and click on add new, which will bring up the interface where you can write a new post. First of all, you add a title, and then you need to add your content. Now, I've pre-written this just to make it a lot easier for us, but you need to be very careful with importing content from other pieces of software. It needs to be very clean. If it has any formatting from Word or the like, you can end up with things looking a complete mess. So what we need to do is we need to make sure it's very clean. And if you do that right, everything will be just fine. I've been very careful to make sure all this content is clean. If you go over to HTML and have a look at it, you can see that everything is as it is because it's only the words, because we don't want anything else in there. We don't want any other weird characters. You'll understand the weird characters in a moment when I show you what it could look like once we add a bit of formatting to it. If we click on visual again, let's say we want to put some interesting content in here. Let's say that we want to maybe say make this a numbered list. What we can do is we can highlight it and click on that and then make this a numbered list. Now, because I imported this, we have to redo this. And now we've got a numbered list. You might want to bold something, for argument's sake. Let's say we want to bold that. So you can just highlight it and bold it. You might also want to make something italics simply by doing that. What you can also do is you can link this to other sites by highlighting it, and then by clicking on that link tag just there, what you can do is add a link to another site. And if you click on that, it'll open it in a new window or tab. And now we can see that that's actually a hypertext link. There are some additional things to these just here. If you click on this button here, which is called the kitchen sink, it creates these other things for us so that we can do other things with the content. If we highlight that, we can indent that paragraph if we like. So we can do all these different things to it. Weird and unusual characters that you might want to use. Feel free to go through those and have a look. So we've got all this additional content here in the kitchen sink, and you can close that anytime you like. Now, if you click on the HTML button here, we can go around the back end and have a look at it, and you can see all this weird code. You can see that here, between that character and this character, is where we've hypertext linked Create Your Life Story. You can also see, because we've got it bullet pointed, we can got all these extra characters here as well. So this is what goes on in the background, and this is a place which is pretty scary, but if you go here you can actually discover that some weird things sometimes happen, and by simply moving things around you can find that things will get a lot better. At the end of the day, this is the best place to have a look at it. The easiest way to throw an image in is if you go up here, you've got these other things that you can insert. You can insert an image, you can insert video, music, a Poll Daddy poll. So let's insert an image. So we come up here and we need to insert an image from our computer desktop. You might actually have the URL for the image from another site, so you'd want to click on from URL, but we're going to select it from our desktop. Once the image is uploaded, we can then decide what we want to do with it and how we want to use it. We can add some text. For a caption, and we can decide where we want to put the image. Let's say we want to put it on the left hand side, and let's say we want to stick with this particular size, which is 300 by 225 pixels. So insert it into the post. And there's the image. Now you can see that it's changed things around and it's made it look a bit messy now. So maybe we might want to modify it. So we edit the image. So let's say this time we decide that we want to put it over on the right hand side. Looking better, isn't it? And then maybe let's say we move it down so we've got a little bit of text above it. And let's just change that so that the actual text underneath the image looks a lot better. Once you've done that, it's worth setting up a few categories. Now, because this is a new blog, we don't have any categories, but let's say we want to add a new category. Let's say surfing. And let's say photography. And we might also want to set up some tags. Categories are for general topics that you might have on your site. Tags are for specific little individual items. So let's say we'll call it a tag for the new board that I supposedly have just bought. So once everything's happy, and if you're ready to publish it and you don't want to have it private, but you're happy to have it public, it's just simply a case of clicking on Publish. Once that's done, we can view the post. By viewing the post, we're going to the actual post that we've just uploaded. If we go to the main blog page, we'll actually have any additional content that was already on there, and we'll have this current post at the top. So that's quickly how to set up a WordPress.com site. I hope you got something from it. It's very easy. Just go ahead and do it, and you'll learn as you go. Hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.